Finally, after months of anticipation and speculation, the title of Episode 8 has been announced. Star Wars. The Search for More Money. Nah, that's not it. It's Star Wars: The Last Jedi. That is the title of Episode 8, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And that's it. That's the video. Me reading a headline and recording myself doing it. I figured that was video worthy. No, I actually have some interesting things I want to talk about, so let's get all the obvious and basic stuff out of the way first. The Star Wars text. It's red. It's not yellow. It's red. It's very foreboding. I'm sure you've heard by now all the people talking about how
Episode 8 is going to be darker than the Force Awakens. It's going to be the Revenge of the Sith of the sequel trilogy. It's going to be darker and bigger.
And that's all fine, but that doesn't get me excited because making a movie dark is not a magic formula to making a movie good. However, what gets me excited is the fact that they're making the movie dark because it's appropriate and it makes for an interesting plot. But I'll get into that stuff later in the video. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. Are they making a sentence? We're not going to know that until Episode 9 is announced. So why is it called The Last Jedi? Is Disney just a big fan of Tom Cruise? Well, probably. But the consensus is it's either referencing Luke Skywalker, as Yoda did in Episode 6.
Luke, when gone am I? The last of the Jedi will you be?
Which I could see because it makes sense. But you also have to remember that the word Jedi is plural and singular. So it could be referencing one Jedi or multiple Jedi. Will Rey become a Jedi? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, it's time to get into rumors and speculation, but before I do that, I want to talk about when we're getting this trailer. When Episode 7's title was announced, 2 weeks later we got a teaser trailer. 2 weeks from now, the announcement is the Super Bowl. I'm going to say that's when we get the teaser, and then we get the full trailer in April with the Star Wars Celebration. Okay, let's break this down. I've seen a lot of people asking, why is Return of the Jedi called Return of the Jedi when the Jedi just leave a couple films later and we're down to The Last Jedi? Well, a lot of people, including myself, believe that the Return of the Jedi could mean the return of the Jedi that was Anakin Skywalker. So who's the Last Jedi? Is it Luke? Is it Rey? Is it Kylo Ren? Is Kylo Ren gonna turn to the light side of the Force? I think it could very well be Luke Skywalker. At least at some point in Episode 8, it will technically be true, because he is the Last Jedi. It's possible that Rey will become the Last Jedi and Luke dies in Episode 8, but a lot of people believe that Rey isn't going to become a Jedi. Instead, she's going to become more of a Bendu, a Force-sensitive individual who seeks to represent the center of the Force between the light side and the dark. You see, we hear the balance of the Force a lot throughout the films, but a lot of people don't really stop to think about what that means. It's more of a yin and a yang. If the galaxy is predominantly ruled by the Jedi, a force of good, then there is no balance to the Force. There has to be light, and there has to be dark. Without one, the other gets very blurry. And if Rey is to bring balance to the Force, she either has to be something like a Bendu, which is not a Jedi, or what I believe she's going to be, because I don't think that Disney is going to throw away the Jedi name. It's just Prince money. I think Rey is going to be what you call a gray Jedi, which technically that is what Luke is. I believe Luke in the sequel trilogy is a gray Jedi. He's not really a black and white type of a guy. He realizes the galaxy is infinitely more complex and gray, especially after Ben. Anyway, the crawl of The Force Awakens also mentions Luke as being the Last Jedi. In addition to this, Snoke mentions Luke being the Last Jedi too.
Leading them to the Last Jedi. If Skywalker returns, the new Jedi will rise.
But Snoke also mentions that the new Jedi will rise. Who's he talking about? The new Jedi. That's not Luke. Is it Rey? Because it can't be any of Luke's other pupils because Kylo Ren killed them all. Is Snoke talking about some sort of a prophecy where Luke trains a new Jedi that will rise and overthrow whatever his plans are and bring balance to the Force? I think so, and I don't know if Luke is going to be the Last Jedi. I think Rey may be the Last Jedi. Something else we should note is that Disney has been saying this is the next chapter in the Skywalker saga. That doesn't necessarily mean that Rey is confirmed as a Skywalker, but instead they could even be referencing something as simple as Kylo Ren because he has Skywalker DNA and he does worship Vader. Or maybe since the sequel trilogy is part of the Skywalker saga, maybe that just means that Skywalker's part of the story isn't done until Episode 9. But even though none of the rumors and leaks have hinted at a major death happening in Episode 8, Disney themselves have kind of hinted at that a little bit. They say that this trilogy was very much going to be about the next generation and passing that torch on. Obviously, with Han Solo's death in Episode 7, they've already begun this process. I would say in Episode 8 we're guaranteed to have a major death. It could be R2-D2, it could be C-3PO, it could be Chewbacca, or it could be Luke, or, Leia. But I think the real thing we all want to see in Episode 8 is Luke Skywalker looking at some cherry blossoms and declaring they're all perfect.
The perfect blossom is a rare thing. You could spend your life looking for one, and it would not be a wasted life.
Who sent those men to kill you?
So when I was talking earlier about Episode 8, The Last Jedi being darker, and why that's actually going to be a good thing is because it's appropriate, well, I am really excited to see Kylo Ren. I want some more on that guy. That guy's interesting. He's a good character. He's not necessarily a good guy, though. But on that note, Adam Driver said that regarding Kylo Ren in Episode 8, we're going to see more of Ren's humanity. And when Adam Driver was asked if Kylo Ren survives Episode 8, he responded, "It depends on what your idea of living is." Oh, that's interesting. But what does it mean? Is he going to be kind? Is he going to be nice? Is he going to feel the pull to the light and actually answer this time? In the novelization of The Force Awakens, during one of the hologram scenes where Kylo is talking to hologram Snoke, Snoke accuses Ren of feeling compassion for Rey. It goes as follows. There was as much curiosity in Supreme Leader Snoke's voice as there was disappointment. This scavenger, this girl, resisted you. That's all she is, yes, a scavenger from that inconsequential Jakku, completely untrained but strong with the Force, stronger than she knows. His mask off, Ren replied with what seemed to be his usual assurance. No one else would have sensed a difference. Snoke did. The Supreme Leader's voice was flat. You have compassion for her. No, never. Compassion for an enemy of the Order? I perceive the problem, Snoke intoned. It isn't her strength that is making you fail. It's your weakness. The rebuke hurt, but Ren didn't show it. So it's confirmed that Ren has had more feelings of doubt and compassion than just his infamous scene of feeling the pull of the light. However, I don't believe that we're going to be seeing Ren's humanity in those senses necessarily in Episode 8. Rather, Adam Driver spent a lot of time stating that Kylo Ren does not view himself as evil. He believes what he is doing is justified and he is on his own hero's journey. Abrams also stated before The Force Awakens was released that Kylo Ren was an incomplete villain, and that he was in many ways where Luke was in A New Hope in The Force Awakens. I think we're going to be seeing more of Kylo Ren's humanity as he sees it, maybe even mercy in a way. And throughout Episode 8 and 9, we're going to see Kylo Ren's hero's journey, so to speak, and his transformation into his embodiment of Darth Vader, becoming more machine than man. Kind of like the original concept art that we saw of Kylo Ren for The Force Awakens. So if the rumors of Ahch-To are true and the Knights of Ren do engage Luke Skywalker in battle and Luke Skywalker cuts to him like a hot knife through butter, they don't stand a chance, and Rey is engaging with Ren, and then Ren takes some heavy wounds before fleeing, I could definitely see those rumors being true and Ren taking some serious damage even after the damage he sustained on Starkiller Base and having Kylo Ren get some cybernetic upgrades, you know? He's into that stuff. It's all Darth Vader-y. It's like poetry. It rhymes. In addition to all of that, something that also lends weight to the fact that we're going to be seeing some Kylo Ren version of Kylo Ren's humanity. The two differing sides, the Resistance and the First Order, will be more gray. They're going to be a little more blurred. You're going to see bad things with the Resistance and bad things with the First Order, respectively. And aside from Luke Skywalker, because I love me some Luke, alright? I love my boy Skywalker here, but listen, Kylo Ren, he is a more interesting character than we've ever had before. I know that sounds familiar, but hear me out. The fact that not only is he going to be kind of gray and ambiguous, but so is the Resistance. So is the Resistance! That's perfect. I don't like it when the good guys are just like godly saints who do no wrong. I like it to be a little more realistic than that sometimes. Now, I don't know how they're gonna make the First Order look like they're not all bad, but I'm assuming that maybe Tom Hardy's cameo character, or maybe Benicio del Toro's character with the First Order, if he is with the First Order, maybe he's a Jedi, who knows. Maybe we're gonna see the fact that most of the soldiers and even officers believe that they're fighting for a greater good. I mean, in the original trilogy, you gotta remember, these are rebels, alright? These are terrorists going after the galactic government. I bet you most of those stormtroopers and most of those officers thought that they were doing some real good. You know, they had stable jobs, they had families probably, they were giving stability and order to everyday lives of citizens. Now, I don't know how the First Order is going to feel that way, because these stormtroopers are like abducted and kidnapped and indoctrinated at birth, but we'll see. Oh, Kylo Ren is going to have his own version of a personal TIE fighter, apparently. That's another rumor. Here's some concept art that it's supposed to look like. This concept art was from The Force Awakens, and I think it looks pretty sweet. We just do not have a lot to go on right now. I'm really excited for the teaser. We'll hopefully be getting it at the Super Bowl. And if we do get a teaser, I'm going to be breaking that shit down like you wouldn't believe. Absolutely everything in a teaser or a trailer I will have in my breakdown videos. I don't do reactions where my face is going, oh, rah. I do breakdowns. I like information. That's interesting. Faces aren't that interesting. Well, some faces are pretty interesting. Whoops, that's the wrong photo. Anyway, if you liked the video, if you enjoyed yourself, leave a like, subscribe if you're a big Star Wars fan like me, because I got all kinds of Star Wars videos coming. I got trailer breakdowns, information dumps like this, theories, rumors, games. Regardless, you're going to see a bunch of interesting videos on the screen right now if you go to check it out, like the most interesting games of 2017 and 2018, or Nintendo's brand new console, and if it's actually worth anything, or if it's going to end up at a thrift shop. Regardless, until next time, the Force will be with you. Always.
I have enjoyed this conversation. This is a very good conversation.
I have questions.
Questions come later.